Hey there, thanks so much for joining in to another 3-tip bit. I am so excited to bring to you my good new friend, Ted Phaeton. Ted, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do, and who you do it for.
Yeah, Lindsay, thanks for having me. So my name is Ted Phaeton. I'm the morning anchor meteorologist for Fox Carolina News in Greenville, South Carolina. That pretty much means I wake up very, very early. I'm also a host of the No Rain, No Rainbows podcast, which is focused on mental health. I always say life is hard, but it's worth the squeeze. And finally, I am the founder and moderator and host of the Modern Man Conference, which is a men's conference here in Greenville, South Carolina, focusing on how we can improve ourselves as men. And we discuss the challenges and obstacles we face in today's society.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining me. And we met through our mutual connection, Jonathan, who was featured on the 3-tip bit. So if you're listening in and listening to this conversation, be sure to go back and listen to Jonathan's as well. It's always fun just to make those introductions and connections. So Ted, there is so much that you can come and share with us today. So I'm just going to give you the mic and let you lead us and share with us what are the 3 tips you brought to share with us today.
All right, sure. So the first tip I always say, and I lean into as much as I can, is be yourself. When I was growing up, I think I had a hard time finding where my group was. I think a lot of us kind of go through a stage in life where we don't really know where we fit in. And I think the biggest discovery for me at some point in time was finding out that I wasn't made to fit in. I was made to stick out. And that was what helped me kind of be proud of the oddities that is me. I think a lot of people used to say, "Oh, do you like normal people?" I say, "No, because I'm not normal myself. And what is normal?" And if we try and chase normal, I think we're trying to chase something that's unattainable. So just be yourself, and I think that's when things really started to fall into place for me. And I hope that whoever's listening can practice that, and things can fall into place for them. Second tip, and it also applies to my business, is trust yourself. And that really is advice that was given to me from my first mentor in the business. He told me, at the end of the day, when you're on air, when you're presenting in front of the camera, in front of a whole bunch of people, just know what you're talking about and trust yourself. And it goes hand in hand with the first tip. If you're being yourself and you trust yourself, people respond to authenticity. People want to know who you are. We see so many things, especially in the world that we live in with social media, of some prescribed content, right? We want to have the nice cars and the beautiful house and the perfect lifestyle, but we know we don't live that every day. So when you are authentically yourself and you're 100% comfortable with that, and you trust yourself, you're going to be more authentic to those around you. And I think people will connect to that. So I really think it's important to trust yourself as well as be yourself. And for my third point, at the end of the day, it's think big, dream big. When I was little, I remember the teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grow up. And I'm embarrassed to say, but I'm proud to say at the same time, I looked the teacher in the eye. I said, I want to be the first Black president of the United States of America. I don't know if I'm on track to be the first Black president of the United States of America, but I know that I've accomplished things in my life since then that if you would have told 6-year-old Ted, 15-year-old Ted, even 22-year-old Ted, that I would be sitting as a morning anchor on a local news station, or even doing the things I'm doing now with hosting a podcast and trying to build this Modern Man Conference, I wouldn't believe you. And it's kind of having the ability to dream big and just go for things that I never thought possible, which has allowed me to have a life that I'm grateful for every day. I have a fiance that I love with my entire heart that I'm grateful for. And it's all come from just me having the audacity to ask for it. So with the last tip, I would just say dream big and go for whatever it is you want in life. I hope that's helpful for us.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I mean, we all need to be reminded to be ourselves, to trust ourselves, to be daring. I mean, you're right with this world of digital presence and online branding, and it can be tempting to put on a facade, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all just human beings, right? You and I are just having conversations. So thanks for sharing those tips and fun stories as well. So how in the world can people find you and connect with you?
So I'm most active on Instagram, and that's just Phaeton Forecast. I'm at Phaeton Forecast, so that's PHAETON, the number 4 KAST. Same handle on Twitter, and you can go to PhaetonForecast.com. Actually, my Instagram is The Real Phaeton Forecast because I was hacked last year. So make sure you type in The Real before the Phaeton Forecast. You can find it.
Okay, great. And then we'll be sure to tag it when we post the video and everything too, so everyone can make sure they find the real you. All right, so we're going to end on a high note, maybe a little funny note, maybe a serious note. So what is one life hack that you want to share with our listeners?
Write everything down. For me, I always think to myself, oh, I could do that later, or I'll get that done later. I have a little journal that goes with me everywhere. It's like a little kind of planner, and I write everything down as little as take the trash out, because if I don't write it down, I'll forget it. I know a lot of us kind of might fall into that, and we forget things all the time. My memory is like the wind. So my life hack that's really kind of changed everything for me was kind of writing things down. And when I look at it, I'm more likely to do it.
Yep, I'm totally right there with you. And I've heard that when you write something down, especially if it's a goal, you're 40% more likely to achieve it. And if you tell somebody and write it down, you're 60% more likely to hit it. So I'm a big advocate for that too. So that's a good life hack for sure. Ted, thanks so much for joining us today. And thank you for tuning in to another 3-Tip Bit. We'll see you on the next conversation.